balls of steel. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
Well, good morning. Hello, everyone, or good afternoon if you're over in the United Kingdom. Today, we're going to be talking about this god-awful shit show that we refer to as Jurassic Park. Oh, fucking Afterbirth. I don't even know what to call this thing. Anyway, you already can tell my feelings from this, but I'm joined today by a special guest, CriticAL. CriticAL is going to come in and help keep this thing on an even keel while I click the buttons and just interject a bunch of vitriol and hatred towards it. CriticAL, how are you today, my friend?
I am fine, thank you very much. I think I like this film a little bit more than you.
I mean, you could have set fire to the theater and you would have liked this movie better than me. So.
A lot of that is based on my love of dinosaurs as a kid. Like anytime there was a dinosaur on the screen, I was like, "This is awesome." And then any other time, I was like, "I can't look past." Because as much as I love dinosaurs, you know, what I do not love. Do you know what I do loathe? Bad Hollywood writing, and this film is fucking packed with it.
Aren't they all, though? I mean, if we're being honest, aren't they all kind of badly written? Aren't they all just... I can't believe Michael Crichton allows his name to keep being associated with...
Well, he's been dead for quite some time, so...
Is this family... Oh, well, one, I didn't know that. R.I.P. Michael Crichton. And two, his family doesn't just go... pull my dad's name off of this thing.
Like, yeah. It's so ironic, actually, because in the adverts, they were advertising a new book by James Patterson and Michael Crichton. I was like, that's fucking impressive. He's been dead for years.
Yeah. Well, do you want to give a brief overview of what this thing has as passing as a plot?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's really a mashup of previous Jurassic Park films, if I'm being honest. Basically, there's a pharmaceutical company that wants to invent a new heart drug. In order to get the heart drug, they need to go back to another one of these islands that's got dinosaurs on it. Jesus. That they need to go and get live samples. So they've got like blood test tubes that erupt like rockets and get them the blood. But the dinosaurs apparently only live on the equator. Now, they say only on the equator. The equator's really big. It goes round the entire planet. But no, it's just this small group of islands.
Yeah,
whatever it's called. So yeah, they can live in the equator. Just go to fucking, I don't know, Mexico or just below Mexico.
I don't know.
Isn't it? Oh, Christ. And that's just one example of how bad the writing in this film is. I mean, it is shockingly bad. There are so many things that happen in this movie that the script writers literally forget about. Like they've written it in the movie, and it's only David Cope who's got a screenwriting credit or a writing credit, and then he forgets things that happen later in the film. It's incredible. This is
right. Forget the lore of Jurassic Park, like the entire thing. Forget that. The entire
it's almost like a reboot. So they go to the island. They've got 3 dinosaurs they need to get. So it's like a set of 3 little side quests. And along the way, they pick up this stupid family who are there because kids need to be in Jurassic Park films. And to be fair, the little girl's one of the best actors in the bloody film. And yeah, they all have hijinks and shenanigans, and then there's mutated dinosaurs as well because you need mutated dinosaurs. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Yeah. But yeah, the dinosaur stuff's good. Gareth Edwards does a decent job as a director. I don't think I didn't really feel that Gareth Edwards at any point wasn't doing a good job. It's the writing that's just absolute dog shit. It really is. But yeah, other than that, it's another Jurassic Park or Jurassic World film.
I mean, yeah, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. I mean, I guess you're not going to really ever top the first one. Not that I'm even a big fan of the first one. I fun fact, except for the last movie, which I skipped, thanks to the drinker and everybody shitting on it so hard and review bombing it as we do. Because of that, I didn't even bother with it. But every other one that I've seen, I've actually seen it in the theater. I have no idea why. Something about the summertime and Jurassic Park comes on and there's nothing else to watch, and I go and I'm like, all right, maybe maybe this will be like a, like going back to that chick who gave you chlamydia one too many times. You keep going back, hoping it's going to be different, and then you get burned again. Just
I mean,
over and over again.
It's so derivative. That's one of the problems with it. Every single character in it is like bumped off in the order that you think they're going to get bumped off.
Right.
It's so predictable. But some of the acting's okay. The characters are okay. It's like
I don't know, man. I felt like
she's not a girl boss.
I felt like Scarlett was kind of phoning it in.
Oh
Really,
man, she was on autopilot.
She was, I know she's on her big, let's stop the male gaze tour, so she kind of makes herself as unattractive as possible. And listen, hey, Mother Nature's doing that for you. A link in the description of this video will be drinkers making fun of her and about her fucking male gaze bullshit.
I've got that queued up to watch. Apparently, she's like that.
Yeah, it's a big sour grapes type thing. But yeah, look, Scarlett, no one gives a shit about your acting ability. It was never that good to begin with. It's because you're smoking hot. That's why we've enjoyed watching you this last 20 years or whatever.
She's on autopilot. I mean, she's never going to go down as one of the great female actors. She's just not. I was actually probably mostly impressed by was it Maisha Ali in this, and the guy who
he's great. No, yeah. So if there's anybody wondering whether or not Mahershala Ali can pull off Blade if they ever get that shit unfucked.
And he's his arms are like tree trunks. He's obviously working out to be in Blade, and they just can't get it done.
Yeah, he's about it in this movie. He's definitely he is my favorite thing in this movie. They've got a pretty stacked cast. I won't lie. They got the the Hispanic dude from the reboot of Lincoln Lawyer that my girlfriend really likes watching. Jonathan Bailey's in it.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey's good.
Yeah, Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, as this put upon dad, which you know what, he wasn't bad. I liked his scenes. I don't know why. I mean, I guess ultimately they figure they had kids in the first movie and they've got to have kids in every single movie because we're only going to care if the dinosaurs eat the kids. And there was a couple moments in which his daughter, played by Adriani Miranda, Isabella or Bella, because of course, if she's a Spanish little girl, she's got to be named Bella. My niece is named Bella, by the way. There was a couple times during like the river rafting scenes and things like that in which, I really worried about her safety. But I was like, they're not going to eat a kid.
No,
like,
they're not. I mean, it is really predictable. But I tell you what, this was more this leaned back on the horror more than any of the other Jurassic Park.
A little bit. I mean, I'll give it that. There was times in which I was like, okay, this is a little darker than what did they rate this? Did they rate this R or PG-13? It must be PG-13.
I think it's got to be PG-13.
Yeah, it's PG-13. There's no way they'd go for an R rated. No. Although, wasn't the first one R rated? Or do I know?
No, the first one was like a 1993. It was probably PG, I would think.
Nah, it couldn't have been PG. I'll look it up later. But if anybody, leave a comment if you know what the rating is, because I'm not going to bother with it.
It literally gets bitten in half.
Yeah. No, there's the pirate, the mercenary scenes where these guys, I will give them this. If I'm going to say, I might as well say something nice if I'm going to say something nice. The group of mercs that Scarlett Johansson employs in order to help them get to the island, you do actually give a shit about these people. And when they get offed or eaten or whatever, or injured even, you do care a little bit about it. So I will
say the order of plot armor protection as well.
Right. But then they're ridiculous. And listen, I this has to be said. I can't not point this out. Like, why the fuck are we always unarming these? Even when people have guns in these movies, they don't use them. The dinosaurs are not bulletproof. As soon as they shipwrecked on the island and they said, well, we lost all our weapons, I'm like, why the fuck do you not have that thing strapped on you? Like, why? Why would you not have
like a rocket, like a bazooka or something? Because
dude, like,
you're not going to be machine gunning these animals down.
So ridiculous. Like, there's no reason to do this. Like,
it's like going up against Godzilla with a taser.
I mean, God. I mean, I saw the promos show you with her with some sort of rifle, but it's not a rifle. It's a pretty ingenious one. If I I will give it some credit for that. So they have to extract this membrane or fluid or whatever from 3 different types of vampires, dinosaurs, in order to get this pharmaceutical company what they need to stop heart attacks or some fucking shit, and plot contrivance. And so the way that they do it, it's kind of like a Hunger Games. They shoot an injector into it. They don't have to go get it because it pops itself off and drops with a little umbrella thingy. That's pretty cool. I did like that. That was clever. But I mean, stuff like that, they're putting all this work into, but yet they can't figure out a way in which some of these guys would have. Is there a thing that the dinosaurs can't get shot? Because it's like the first Jurassic Park movie, they're using the shotguns to block the doors and wedge the doors shut instead of shooting the dinosaurs. The second movie, the guys are like shooting up in the air when the things are coming at them on a low. And then the one guy who actually can shoot a dinosaur, someone else steals his bullets. The third one, they go in with no guns. The fourth one, I don't know what the hell happened there, but it's just like, look, these things aren't bulletproof. Get some machine guns. It's not super difficult.
It'll drive them off at least. Like, no animal likes getting shot.
Exactly. Like it'll loud noises scare monsters. Anyways, so basically, and you have the evil, white guy. I will say that I was kind of expecting the doctor guy character, played by one of your people, a British guy, Jonathan Bailey. I was kind of expecting him to be a little femboy, soy boy, cuck type.
Yeah, it wasn't. Dude, the film wasn't woke. It wasn't woke for
no. He didn't do
second.
that. So I did appreciate that. Yeah. But I mean, if you
I
just
expected the short-haired girl to be like mouthing off about feminism and toxic men and all that kind of stuff, and there's none of it. None of it.
And she gets murked. That was pretty cool. I was like that. I was like when you have a character that you think is going to make it past a certain point, they get killed. So I do like that. I mean, but it's just the same plot that it's had for. I mean, and then the whole thing gets kicked off. This hyper security. They do a little prologue where 17 years prior, they have what the station was running at, and this dumb shit has a chocolate bar, and the chocolate bar wrapper goes into the
candy product placement, man.
Yeah, and then blows up all of their security. They have no contingencies.
Worst security system in the world.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, a candy wrapper defeated a multi-trillion-dollar security system for dinosaurs and stuff like that. I also do, if I'm going to give it any more credit, I do like the fact that dinosaurs now, after 30 years, whatever the timeline is in the film, because they've been introduced into society, they're dying off as that would be expected, because they're it's like any animal, they're not going to survive in captivity. And then 2, people just don't give a shit about the dinosaurs anymore. Like, it's not the wonder of it is just like completely gone, because it's just like, oh, it's commonplace. Like the guy even says in the beginning, like, hey, hurry up and die, I'm blocked in traffic. And I do believe that. I do believe in our society, the TikTok brain rot society, that people would.
Well, it's mentioned in the book, isn't it? It's mentioned in the book that like the animals would be struggling to breathe because
surprisingly
completely different.
This is going to shock you a little bit. I've not read any of the Jurassic Park books.
There's only 2. You've not read the original novel?
I've read a lot of his other stuff, specifically like Eaters of the Dead, that they turned into 13th Warrior, but I've never really. I don't dig dinosaurs.
We should do a compare the source on that, because there's a lot of changes between the film and the book.
Could do, yeah.
In the book, Hammond's a straight up bad guy.
Could do at some point, and I have heard that
do it after the Walking Dead one.
Sure. I have heard the books are much better, so maybe. But I've got like literally 12 books on my queue right now, so it's hard to. Plus, writing one, it's hard to find the time to like sit down and actually.
It is a very good book, actually. The scene where the T-Rex chases the family down the river on the raft, is taken from the book.
I did like the fact that they didn't do a whole bunch of member berry bullshit, and they didn't bring back a bunch, because they were starting to do that in their little Jurassic World.
There was a couple. Obviously, you had the bit where God's sake, flying velociraptors are in the convenience store, and you see they're knocking things off like in the kitchen in the first film. And other than that, it's a few Easter eggs, like, you know, you got the banner right, and it's even in the trailer, you got the banner falling past the skeleton of the T-Rex
Yeah.
and stuff like that, you know. But it's not as egregious.
I don't mind that. Yeah, a good word, egregious. I don't mind that too bad as far as that goes. But this whole thing that they were doing with, you know, in 2015 when, you know, they brought Pratt in and they were doing this whole Jurassic World, like they were going to make this like cinematic universe with it.
Yeah,
It had all the characters popping in and out and stuff like that. I was really worried about that. So I mean, like, dude, just write new characters, and they did.
Yeah.
To be fair, they did write new characters. They were somewhat compelling, and Scarlett Johansson's role could have been compelling, but she's just phoning it the fuck in.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, there's no real range there. It's like she does
No.
different things. She does vulnerability. She does sort of stoicism. She does.
But I mean, she's
you know,
made herself. I mean, the point is, she's made herself as unattractive as she possibly can. You know, so our male gaze doesn't touch her. She's, you know, a wooden performance. She's not none of that Black Widow charm is in there.
No,
you know, that little like winking at us like I know more stuff than you know type thing. She's just, you know, I mean, it's not a total boss babe situation.
Yeah.
But it isn't not either. So it's
I mean,
it's somewhere.
There's no putting down of dudes. There's no girl bossing or anything
Yeah.
like that. You know,
your enjoyment of this film will greatly depend on how much you like to see dinosaurs running around, sometimes eating people, causing a disaster, and things like that.
If you're one of those guys who's like, you love dinosaurs as a kid, you will get something out of this movie. You just will. There's loads of little bits, and not just the main dinosaurs that they're trying to get the first three. There's loads of other little dinosaurs here and there, and big dinosaurs as well. And you'll spot them, and you'll know their names and all that kind of stuff. So if you dig dinosaurs, you're going to get something out of this film. But it is really badly written, and when we get to the spoilers, we'll start ripping it apart. And we can do it from the trailer, because I was looking at the trailer just now you were playing, and I was like, there's bits in that trailer that literally we can pick apart. That, you know, just. The film just it falls apart the second you think about it, unfortunately.
Right. Like
the last one, the dinosaur bits are good, and the other bits are better than the last one. But that's and probably the one before that. That's about all I can give it. Nobody's waving their arms at fucking velociraptors and stuff to try and get them to not attack. There's none of that shit going on, because that got stupid real fast.
No, I mean, some of the choices that the people make in this are relatively okay, I guess, as far as survival stuff, like what you would do. But I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of it's I'm just like, look, that whole river rafting scene, is somewhat compelling, mostly down to, you know, the little girl's performance.
I mean,
and how they did that.
The girlfriend and the stoner loser character completely taken out the film, not needed.
Oh, you could lose them, and the whole plot would be much better off for it. But I mean, you get down to the fact that you're just like, look, these dinosaurs would rip these people apart. They'd literally be there 5 minutes and
I mean, within 5 minutes of landing, you're dead, kind of thing.
You're completely fucking dead. There's no way you're surviving unless you're like in an armored, secured vehicle or something like that.
Like in the Lost World, when they went trying to like capture actual dinosaurs, they took an army. An actual army. I mean, I think it's still like a merc army, but it was still an army. You didn't just go out there with 6 people and expect to survive.
Yeah. But go ahead, and I guess obligatory, you know, not that we haven't already, but, you know, spoilers follow.
So play the trailer, and what we'll do is we'll pick it apart, because there's stuff in the trailer that literally contradicts what happens. So obviously this is the bit where you get the guy with the Snickers, and it gets stuck in a vent in the door and stops the door from opening because it shorts something out. That's beyond stupid. Like in an environment where they're wearing environmentally protected suits, anything would be able to get through a vent like that.
You know, there's doors in the hotel that I do security for that wouldn't be fucked up because of a candy wrapper getting stuck in it. But you're going to tell me that this multi-trillion-dollar installation's got a ventilation thing within the door that's like one candy wrapper is going to boom. And then if that does happen, there's no contingency to shut the dinosaurs down.
In the lab as well. It's not just that door. All the power in the lab goes. And it's like, yeah, come on, seriously.
Yeah.
So that's completely stupid. The mutant dinosaur there that you see does not show up again until the end of the film.
Yeah.
And could have been any other dinosaur. There's no reason for it to be a mutant.
I got to talk about this river raft scene real quick, because even though it's a compelling scene in the movie, like there's no way this T-Rex would not have completely eaten this family. I mean, maybe the dad could have gotten away because he was a little farther down the river, but I mean, you know, the daughter and her boyfriend are flopping around. I mean, this thing would eat them. So, and then the little girl has the best plot armor. She would, and even if she would have survived what the T-Rex was doing, bouncing that little raft around. Oh, and then the raft, after they get through it, let's assume for a second that all of that is plausible.
The T-Rex bites into the raft and doesn't puncture it.
Right, and doesn't puncture it. And then on top of that, they're going downstream and they come across this, you know, two-pronged rocky and you know,
very conveniently
embankment,
just too small to allow T-Rex.
Right, so the T-Rex can't get his head through. So funny big head T-Rex can't get his head through. Ha ha ha. And then on top of that, the raft just pops back up and it's like, hey, I'm still here. And then the raft, they're still set on the rocks, holding onto the rocks, and the raft just even though the stream is going quickly downstream and there's a rough current, right, as it's been established, because otherwise they wouldn't survive. The raft just sits there waiting for them to jump in it as if it had an anchor on it or a plot.
The other dumb thing, is what's the T-Rex doing before obviously it starts attacking them? It's having a nap after eating on a massive Parasaurolophus carcass.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that was the name of the dinosaur, but okay. Yes.
Oh man, I can even name the little dinosaur. I mean, I was a massive dinosaur nerd.
You and my girlfriend's kid would get along great, but yeah, it's
it's not replacing them because it's not hungry.
Right.
There's no point. It's just I can understand it if it hadn't eaten or something. They just came across
the dad's leg injury. Lincoln Lawyer. His leg injury is just whatever the plot decides it needs to be. It's bad or
sometimes
good.
It's bad, sometimes it's not. Am I the only one who's just glad it wasn't Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
It's kind of what he reminded me of. But so we're gonna get to it in a second, but I'll say it here. So what happens to end them to be like trapped on the island is the boat gets completely wrecked by mosasaurs and Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
And I mean, this kind of not massive, but a fairly large, well-armored boat. How do they escape the island?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I almost forgot because of course it is, because it's a family summer movie. The daughter finds a little baby dinosaur that just totally just cute as can be, because we got to sell merchandise, cute as can be, and is just gonna hang out with her.
Dolores is cute, man.
Just gonna hang out with her.
Follows them and ends up with them at the end of the film. I don't know, but
no problem. Not gonna be an issue. Oops, let me mute that. But
this is another thing. How that's stupid. Yeah. So, what do they say about these dinosaurs? They can only live at the equator.
Right.
So if they're going back to like normal USA, they are condemning that small baby dinosaur to a slow.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, oh, I'm going to bring it home. Are you guys not paying attention to what's happening to the dinosaurs back home? Are they not dying out in record
like David Cope literally wrote things in the screenplay and then just completely forgot about it. I must say, they get wrecked. Their massive boat gets wrecked. That boat gets completely wrecked. They escape in a dinghy.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
And we're supposed to believe they're going to be absolutely fine dinghying out of that place. It's like, no, they're all going to die.
I love that the trailer shows them as like gunning up and getting all their shit ready and like they're going to go on this massive expedition or whatever. But in reality, they lose their guns in the first 30 seconds. They're on the on the island.
And they get bumped off exactly the way that you think they would. Ed Skrein's in the movie, but not for long.
No.
Then it's the butch sort of girl that dies because she's stupid because she knows there's dinosaurs. Jonathan Bailey literally says they're amphibious, and she turns her back on it while she tries to get the kit off the beach.
Yeah.
fucked on her own. I'm like,
while
"Fuck's
she's
sake, you are
while she's
stupid, you
ble-
deserve
while
to
she's
die."
bleeding. Yeah, she's bleeding while she's got a bloody hand, and like,
Yeah.
oh, let me just, yeah, no, I'm sure everything's fine, and moving all the equipment by herself as if this 190-pound girl is going to be able to push this equipment. Like once it's
I'm
beat,
literally like, I'm rolling my eyes. You know, I really wish I would have given the movie a little bit more respect if, because at the end of the film, they fake out Marisha Ali's death. He basically leads the mutant dinosaur away from the rest of them with a flare, like Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
did in the first film. And then you presume he's been eaten, but it's a fake out, and he turns out he's alive. I would have given the film a bit more respect if they actually stuck with that.
Yeah.
Because again, I was just like, oh god, of course he survives. You know, probably so he can come back in the next film, but
I mean, so I guess that brings us to the big question of the day. What's your thoughts on this being a franchise and there being a next film?
Well, I mean, it's made money already. It's made money. It's outperforming Marvel like we knew it would. I think it had like an opening of 57 million or something stupid like that. Domestic. It's doing well. It's going to make money because dinosaurs just do. Would I watch another one with these characters? Honestly, I mean, I probably would because I'm a sucker for dinosaurs, and the dinosaur shit in this is good. The CGI is good. There's some really dodgy compositing and green screen, but if there's a dinosaur on screen, it looks great. Yeah, I'm a sucker for these in the same kind of way that I kept going to see those stupid Transformer films because giant Meccano robots kicking the shit out of each other is also cool. But the writing is just, I feel like I'm rewarding bad writing. You know what I mean?
I think you are. I think you are. I think you're rewarding stuff that shouldn't be rewarded.
Yeah,
and
like
you know what?
nearly everything's badly written these days. There's not much that's well written.
I mean,
I couldn't pick out too many problems in what I saw of F1, but nearly every other blockbuster that comes out, be it Marvel, be it whatever, it is just, the writing is just shit.
I'm going to put my foot down right now. Now, this is a long line of Jurassic Park movies I have gone to the theater to watch.
Yeah,
there's a thing called the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah,
the phenomenon in whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they've invested heavily in it when it is clear that abandonment would be more beneficial. So
and this is Lost for me, the TV series.
Well,
I carried on right the way through to the end. And
From has done that to me as well, and written by the same people. So, you know, not uncoincidentally. But I am decreeing now on my show in front of God and everyone and all of YouTube, I will not watch another Jurassic.
You done? Yeah, you're out.
I'm done, dead.
You see, my punishment for dinosaurs has got me like, you know, I'll see the next trailer and I'll be like, the thing is, I went into this with low expectations, thinking it was probably going to be as bad as the last one, which was absolute dog shit and made 10 times worse because they got the legacy characters back from the first 3 films and they did nothing. It was just crap. And I went into this film thinking like, it's going to be absolute shit.
I cannot imagine
I'd give it a 6 out of 10. You give it a 6 out of 10. It's not good. The writing is awful, but the dinosaur, every time there's a dinosaur on screen, I was fucking grinning like a loon. I was like, this is great.
I will give this a 3 out of 10, and that's being generous. And I cannot, if this is what they're doing to reboot the franchise, and it's going to be led by Scarlett Johansson in her wooden Botox face for the next several movies, I'm not interested in this at all.
She hasn't even got like Chris Pratt. Again, I'm not going to say he's a good actor or anything. He's good at what he does,
but he's charismatic.
He's got more charisma than she has in this. She is a She is a
he has more charisma in his left testicle than she has.
yeah.
So
I mean, she could have turned on the charm a little bit, but she refuses, as you say, because she doesn't want to come across as sexual in any way.
Right here, this is the most expressive she gets out for the entire film.
And I'm not saying it's not like she needs to get her tits out. We're not saying she needs to get her tits out or anything like that. Just, you know, maybe be a little bit, kind of chuck a little bit of femme fatale in there or something like that, you know.
All the charm and the little wink, the wink at you, and you know, the I know more than you, and all that stuff that she had with Black Widow in the early MCU days is completely gone. All the stuff that you knew of her from, you know, like The Prestige and all that stuff, like she is just become this other thing. You know, it used to be like
still jaded, and you
Yeah.
know, there's like Marisha Ali has got like loads, like bagfuls of charm in this film.
Yeah, no, he's great. And I watching this, I will say the one really good benefit of this, watching this made me think that, you know, if they ever unfuck that Blade franchise, if they ever get a chance to fix it, he
He'd
might
a
be
decent Blade.
he could actually do it because he is
Oh yeah, for sure.
buff as fuck. He has a lot of presence. I just like watching him.
I think he's a good actor. I think he's a good actor. I haven't seen that much stuff. I think he's the most likable thing. And I mean, even though I wish they sort of kept the death of him at the end, just because that way something would have stuck.
It would have made it more impactful, wouldn't it?
So generic. You know that the corporate slimy bad guy is going to get it, and he does.
Yeah.
And you know that the white guy is going to go first, and then you know that the girl's going to, because she's the only one left that's like not a main character or black. You know she's going to go next, and then you know that if anybody's going to go, it's going to be the black sidekick last kind of thing. Yeah. And then you know they're going to keep the slimy dude for right at the end of the movie. And it was just, it was like I could have literally, the second I saw the cast, I could have made a tick list and then ticked them off as I went through the film. It was so derivative. And even the events that happen, you know nothing's going to happen to the boyfriend, as much as I wanted him to get eaten.
That actually would have made me a lot happier. But yeah, as loud as this film was, I can tell you honestly, I drifted off 2 times in the theater. Now, one, I'm getting on in age, and my job is very taxing. There is that, and those very, very comfortable stadium seats, things that recline.
Our cinema's had an upgrade now. We get level reclining seats. And
so that does do it. But if I'm interested in the movie, I will be interested in the film. You know what I mean? Like when I watched Sinners, I was interested in what it was that I was watching. But this movie, I'm like nodding off like I've got narcolepsy.
I mean, my wife was the same. My wife was thoroughly bored. She said it was crap. Okay. I think this is honestly for kids and people who like dinosaurs. I don't think there's anything for anything.
If you have kids and they like dinosaurs, this is fine to bring them to, even though I think it might be a little violent for the little kids.
A little violent for little kids. Yeah.
I mean, if they're of
under 8, I probably wouldn't bother.
Yeah, elementary school age or whatever, then that's totally fine. But if you're going for any other reason, if you're thinking this is going to save or reboot the franchise or rebirth the franchise, no. This is like a stillborn.
Like the last film, the dinosaur stuff is good, and the other stuff is better than probably the last 2 films because they're both terrible.
Yeah, but that's not saying much, is it?
No, it's not. It's a low bar. But the writing is like, I wish sometimes I hadn't started doing film criticism. I wish I could still go and watch a film with the naivety and the ignorance of the
It is a burden. It is a burden to watch this, and then because as soon as this movie started, I started making my little mental notes.
Yeah, same.
Like, oh, this is bullshit. This wouldn't happen.
That's fucked.
But hey, it is what it is. It's the burden we bear. We do this so that we can save other people from that.
Indeed.
So, a marginal recommendation from CriticAL.
Like if you like dinosaurs, I mean, if you've liked the previous Jurassic Park films, even like got something out of the sort of the Jurassic World films, then you'll get something out of this. But it's derivative, it's badly written. Scarlett Johansson she's not a leading character in this at all. She's completely destroyed in actual fact in every single way by the other 2 characters, the main characters.
Maybe if they come back and Mahershala Ali is in charge, maybe. But I don't want to make a liar out of myself and go against my decree. So I'm just going to have to. But I mean, maybe for other people, it could be something.
The dinosaurs. I mean, if this film was about anything other than dinosaurs, there'd be no reason to watch it. No reason to watch it at all. But seeing the dinosaurs on screen rendered really well in CGI, and the dinosaur action and the dinosaur peril, as it were, the bit with the mosasaurs attacking the boat and she's hanging off the boat and stuff like that. It's tense, man. It's cool. So. But
by the way, Hollywood, let me tell you something, Hollywood. There's no such thing as a female special forces operator. Okay, stop doing that. Stop doing that. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist anywhere in the world. I mean, if you're going to do that, bring them in. I know they wouldn't right now, but have them be Israeli IDF or something like that, like they did in Predators. Like, there's no such thing as a female special force. You can easily just make her a paratrooper, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
That would be enough. Or, you could make her, a million other things. You can make her a former military policewoman or something like that. Or, they don't have female mercs and they don't have female special forces operators. Stop doing it. It doesn't exist. So anybody with even a modicum of trigger time or, overseas, duty, they're going to know right away that's
she doesn't
bullshit.
even have that commanding presence, does she? She's like,
No.
She's kind of competent. She knows what she's doing, but
No,
you don't believe anybody would follow her.
Predator versus Alien, they had the chick that was, a survival expert and an excellent climber and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's completely okay. The Predator versus Aliens Requiem, they have the female. She is a helicopter gunner. Totally fine. That's fine. Yeah. That works. Listen, make it realistic, and then more people will enjoy the stuff. But Hollywood gives, I mean, like you said, they can't even remember the plot within their own film, much less the plot. So
I was shocked by how bad the writing was
Yeah.
from the start. Just with the Snickers wrapper, I was like,
Chat GPT is not how you want to go when you want to write your blockbuster millionaire movie franchise shits, especially the reboot ones. But listen, we have left the age of woke. We are now in the age of slop.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the film's not. It's not woke for 1 second. It's just,
but it is slop throughout the entirety of the film. And that's my final word on that. CriticAL, thank you for coming on with me at this impromptu, quick out of the theater review between the two of us. I think we're the only one in our group that bothered to watch this. Hopefully no one else does watch it, but
I committed myself to watching the big three this month. This one, Superman and Fantastic Four. And I stand by my assessment that this is going to make the most money.
Really? Oh, that is a bold statement, my friend. Yep. Okay. Well, we're going to revisit this in a couple weeks after everything has come out, and we're going to see if CriticAL is correct, whether or not. Also, you can catch CriticAL and I in a couple weeks. We will be doing our Consider the Source, which I haven't done in a long time, of the source material versus the adaptation, in which we will be talking about The Walking Dead, the graphic novels versus the mainstay television show. We won't be discussing any of the spin-offs or sequels or reboots or anything like that. Just specifically.
I think I only watched the first 5 or 6 seasons of the show anyway, but I've read all of the graphic novel, the comic book, all the way up to its very shocking ending.
Fair enough. I've read all of the novels.
They will never be able to put on screen ever.
Yeah. I've read all of the novels and I've seen all of the show and most of the spin-offs. So I feel like this could be a very interesting discussion. So check back in with us in a week or two, and we'll have that set up for you on my other show, Consider the Source. And until next time, remember, stay toxic, everybody.
See ya.
Riding on the wings of destruction, a toxic presence, a lord of corruption, polluting the ocean, spreading decay, the toxic black, gnawing the vein, searing through the sand.
I've got balls of steel.